Yes, sir. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Karan. Hope
Yeah,
you're fine today.
Yeah, I'm absolutely fine, and it's a pleasure to have you on my show, Kafi with Karan.
It's my pleasure. In fact, I feel like a star to be a part of Coffee with Karan or
Thank
Coffee
you.
with Karan, whichever way you put it.
Yeah, it's Kafi with Karan.
So we'll exchange it with a cold coffee which we just had.
Yes, thank you. It
Wonderful,
was fantastic coffee.
It was a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you so much. Thank you, sir. So today I am going to introduce yet another wonderful personality. Within such a short span of time, he's become a friend of mine, and we both are exchanging pleasantries with each other. And let me introduce CA Siddharth Deshpande, sir. He is a qualified chartered accountant from 2007 batch, and that was the year in which he completed his final CA exam. And let me tell you that currently sir has been at the CFO level of the National Center for Performing Arts, okay, that is NCPA, located in Mumbai. Now, sir would give more brief idea about what is NCPA, and then I will start my questioning round with him. So let us hear it right from CA Siddharth Deshpande, sir. Yes, sir. Over to you.
Thank you, Karan. The NCPA, which proudly sits on the tip of South Bombay at the end of Marine Drive,
Yes,
is an organization, an arts center which was built by Dr. Jamshed Bhabha and jointly with TATA.
TATA. Oh my God,
So
such a big name.
these were the stalwarts who built this organization. After Dr. Jamshed Bhabha, our current chairman, Mr. Kushru Santuk, is the person who is leading this organization.
Very nice.
I have personally spent 18 years in this organization, and I must say all 18 years have been under Mr. Santuk.
So it's a big time. It's really a big time.
It's a big time, and luckily it's a wonderful time because people like Mr. Santuk are visionaries.
Yes.
They are leaders. They contribute through such organizations
Very
to the
nice.
society. And NCPA, which is an integral part of Mumbai's cultural and artistic life, has contributed so much to the community that it would be hardly anybody in Mumbai that they will not know about NCPA.
It's very famous. It's very famous.
So it's a privilege to be a part of this organization for so many years. We owe a lot to it.
Very
I think
nice.
that's about it, Karan.
Incredible, sir. Is NCPA any time a joint venture with Government of Maharashtra also?
It's certainly. I mean, it is. The land was leased to the NCPA by the Government of Maharashtra.
Government of Maharashtra. Very nice. Sir.
So they are also a part of, and we always work in tandem with them. So it's something which contributes to the city and the state. And in fact, we proudly say it would be one of the best art centers in Southeast Asia. So
Best art center in Southeast Asia. Oh my God, fantastic, sir.
we proudly say that.
Proudly. It's a proud moment to hear that, sir, first of all. And it is such a pleasure that I'm getting chance to interview such great personalities who have been working with such good organizations, such brilliant organizations. And as sir rightly pointed out that their chairman has made lives of so many people who have been working here. So I got an opportunity today to interview him, and let us see if I can put forward some questions and let us see what responses we can get from him. So sir, my first question is basically it's all about our CA, CS and ACCA community, which I am catering from almost 15 years. You have been working from 18 years, I have been working from 15 years in the education industry. And I feel privileged that education is an integral part of my life also. And my first question to you is that, sir, why did you choose an industry job in an organization like NCPA, and whereas you had an option of doing your own practice as a CA? Why did you choose industry as your profession? So please, if you can put some light on that.
You know, Karan, you just said great personalities, but I'll tell you one thing. Great personalities are made up from good organizations.
Yes, true, very true.
And to be a part of a good organization, it's extremely important that you are along with people
Correct.
of a certain certain
standard.
of a certain level,
Yes.
wherein your individual capacity is also built up.
Okay.
And I think this is very important for young professionals who are actually aspiring to be
Yes.
CAs or CSs in the near future.
Yeah.
So it's extremely important that you get the right exposure,
Yes.
you get the right people on board,
Yes.
so that you develop your personality.
Absolutely.
Now coming to the second part of your question, why not practice?
Why not practice? Yes.
It's because if you are a person whose family background already has a CA practice,
Okay.
it's a little easier if your
Okay.
father is a practicing CA or something, or somebody in the family.
Okay.
But if that's not the case,
Okay.
it would always be advisable to get into the industry, because if you get into practice, you either get into audit or you get into a tax department.
Correct.
There are some other avenues opened up.
Yeah.
But if you are working as an auditor without an industry background, it's very easy to ask questions.
Okay.
But to be an auditee, to answer questions is very difficult and very challenging.
Very challenging.
Number one. Number two, when you are on the other side of answering questions, you get tuned to a certain way where your mental frame is also humbled.
Okay.
You tend to see an approach where, okay, as an auditor you can start saying, okay, why is this so, why is that? It's very easy to ask questions, mind you, but when you have to keep your head, or you have to keep ice on your head and sugar on your tongue and answer an auditor as to why this is not without losing your temper, it changes your personality.
Correct.
It keeps you grounded.
Yes.
And it also gives you an idea at some point of time, maybe if you want to be an auditor on the other side,
Okay.
it gives you a much more better experience to then ask questions.
Okay, so what sir means to say that it is a completely personal choice, but then at the same point of time, he means that if you are coming from a CA practice background, then practice would be a preferable option. But if you come from a humble background, and if your previous generation was into service industry, then it is always better to choose an industry job and be on the other side of the table, that is be an auditee rather than being an auditor. Fantastic sir, really I appreciate your answers. And
see, it widens your scope.
Yes, it widens your scope, of course, you get to learn more things.
Absolutely, there's no
Yes.
question about it.
Yes, yes. Sir, my one more question that I wanted to know from you, that how did you reach up to this CFO? CFO is like the last level position in finance, okay? Because when we teach corporate governance to our students, we always say that in the annual reports of organizations, there is a CEO, CFO certification required. So CFO word always keeps coming. Okay, so I want to understand from you that how did you reach from a small level, from a ground level, and right up to the topmost level of the finance? Okay, being a CFO of an organization, what was the challenges that you faced, which you came across?
If you look at challenges, they are challenges. If you look at challenges as opportunities, then the growth is faster.
Yes, very true.
I started off as an accounts manager.
Okay.
Then moved on as a senior manager finance.
Okay.
Then as an assistant general manager, then GM, and then eventually CFO.
Okay.
I must, as I said, that I must genuinely thank the entire team at the NCPA.
Okay.
Because your growth doesn't depend only on you.
Very true. Very true.
When you work in an organization,
yes,
it depends on each and every individual who you work with.
Okay.
People. Obviously, yes, people at the senior level, but people at your level, people below you. These are qualities which make you, and you have to ensure that you take everybody along.
Correct.
I think if you understand that you are nothing by yourself, and you keep yourself away from the objective,
okay,
then it's easy.
Then it's easy.
Your objective becomes more important than yourself. And once you align your objectives and people understand that this gentleman puts his objective before him, they automatically tend to keep themselves away from themselves and put themselves in front of the objective. So
Okay.
they align to the objective.
So objective is more important.
The role of a leader then becomes objective driven.
Okay.
Once that is done, once that confidence is into you from every level. See, it's very easy to say, yes, I keep somebody at the senior level happy. No, it's not enough. You have to get the work done.
True, sir.
For that, you have to ensure that you have the confidence of the people below you.
Yes.
Now, how does that happen? That happens because of a strong technical knowledge.
Technical knowledge is required. Very nice.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Because people are smart. You tell people that, okay, look, I don't have the knowledge, but I'm going to be your boss. People at some point of time, they're going to say that, look, this guy doesn't know things. What am I reporting to? So technical knowledge, yes.
Okay.
But, and I say this, but that's not enough because you are dealing with human beings.
Yes.
So there, your emotional quotient is extremely important. You
Yes.
have to understand the sensitivities of people who are working with you.
Mindset of the people.
Absolutely. You have to take care of that mindset. Many a times you have to convert negativities into positivities.
Very nice.
And when you have to do that, basically you have to start with yourself.
True, sir. Very
And for this, what you need is good reading, good habits,
Very nice.
good company, good friends, good hobbies.
Please note all these points that you need good habits, you need good hobbies, and good sense is required. All good qualities are required to reach up to this level. Okay.
I won't say this philosophically, I'll tell you why.
Yeah.
Because all this, see, when you are taking an education of CA, you are sharpening your logical mind.
Correct.
Okay, 1 plus 1 plus 1, whatever.
Correct.
When you are dealing with people,
Ah.
you are dealing with human beings where your emotional mind has to be very clean.
Correct, sir.
People can judge you from your intentions.
Hmm.
And for that, your intentions have to be very, very clear, honest.
I keep telling this to the students also that law always sees intentions. So this is a practical example of that.
Karan, I must appreciate your effort
Thank you.
because what people teach in classrooms is your logical reasoning.
Logical reasoning.
These efforts that you are taking,
Yes.
I don't know whether I would be able to contribute in any logical way, but yes, certainly on the emotional part, is that people have to learn 3 things.
Yes.
1, honesty. Number 2, loyalty.
Loyalty.
And number 3 is integrity.
Integrity. Very nice.
I'll tell you why. There was a time in our profession when who was a good accountant or a finance guy? Before calculators, somebody who would total up in time was a good accountant.
Good accountant. Yeah.
When calculators came in,
Yes.
that was replaced, and somebody who would use the calculator fast and give you totals of the ledger was considered.
Correct.
When Excel came in, that also kept aside.
Okay.
Then you had people who were presenting it who were considered good accountants.
Good accountants.
After softwares like Tally
Tally.
or something like else, I mean some others, SAP came in,
Yes.
your presentation and analysis became important.
Yes.
Now with AI coming in, all these things are going to become system driven.
System driven.
So does it mean that accountants or does it mean finance professionals are going to be irrelevant or going to lose? Not at all. The reason is that all these figures somewhere are going to be input through a human being.
Okay.
They're going to come out, they're going to be looked at by humans. At that point of time, what your systems don't do is the human part of it, of actually giving you conclusions which balance out emotions, which balance out your social responsibilities. There are a lot of intangibles where figures are not going to be enough.
Okay.
And that's where an individual's soft skills
Matter.
will drive his own growth.
Okay. So soft skills matter.
Absolutely. The reason is, as I was telling you just some time back, that you may have a good technical knowledge, but if you cannot deal with people,
Yeah.
you are not going to go further, you are not going to succeed in your career.
So a good qualification and a good integrity, morals, ethics. It's a combination of both.
These are prerequisites.
Yes.
It's not that you can this or it's all. It's a
Okay.
package deal.
Okay.
And as artificial intelligence comes in,
Yeah.
you think your life is going to become easier, but there are always plus and minuses. If you're going to have something which is going to be easier, your responsibility of being basically a good human being is going to be much more important, because if your loyalty is not for your organization, if you're not honest to your job,
Yes.
you cannot succeed.
You cannot succeed.
It's a given.
So loyalty and honesty matters.
There is no question about it,
Yes.
because if even once you are, I won't say caught, but somebody, you start losing confidence in your subordinate, it's finished. You may make mistakes, you may make errors.
Yes.
At that point of time, it's your responsibility to go and tell your superior that, look, this is an error I have committed.
Yes.
Do not hide it.
Okay.
Be honest about it. So honesty, loyalty and integrity will be on the top of the charts. No questions.
Please note all these points, that only degree does not matters. Along with degree, integrity, honesty is also important to reach at positions like.
And they'll matter more with
Yes.
AI coming in,
Yes.
because humans will be expected to be more human. Humans will be expected to have a high emotional quotient, a high spiritual quotient, not just technical or logical reasoning.
Good, sir. Very nice. I really appreciate your answers. Sir, one question all the CAs usually have, like this is a March-April time going on, and it's of course it's a very peak time for most of the chartered accountants, whether you may be in practice or whether you may be serving as a CFO of an organization. So what are the challenges that you come across when you submit your month-end and year-end deliverables as a CFO? Like what do you face, are you feeling pressurized? Sometimes you may be, giving a thought of like it is so much of pressure on me. How do you deal with this situation?
You work on bank holidays also. And if it was not for 31st March, I would have perhaps met you before 31st March.
Okay.
But I think these things are a part of the game.
Okay.
It keeps you going. If you're focused on your work and if your priorities are set, then they don't matter. But it cannot happen overnight.
It
cannot happen overnight.
Okay.
It's a system, it has to be ingrained in you.
Okay.
Now when you talk about the CA course, I remember at least when I was doing my CA, it used to be 8 subjects, 4 in each group in
now
CA
students have 6 papers only.
And there would be papers on a trot,
Okay.
completely, one done.
Okay.
It means you have no time for revision.
No time for revision.
It means that after audit, you will have financial management. After financial management, you would have costing.
Okay.
After costing, you would have tax. After tax, you would have IT.
Yes.
Now, basically, it means that you are shifting gears from practical subjects to theoretical subjects in no time.
Correct.
Now, when you are in the industry, you have 10 tasks to be done.
Okay.
Can you afford to say, I'm going to do all 10 in one day? No.
Not possible.
It means you have to prioritize.
Okay.
You have to read what will be expected out of you from the top management.
Okay.
If you are able to read that, okay, this is what is going to be foreseen, then your own life becomes easier.
Correct, sir.
Now, there are 2 ways to approach this. And you asked me at how does one go from a level at a certain point to a higher level. Every top management person, and I presume so, will look for people. As I said, your prerequisites would be your logical reasoning.
Okay.
Your prerequisites would be loyalty, honesty and integrity. There's no question about that.
There's no question about
Beyond that,
yeah.
if the top management or your superior looks at a thing that this guy or this person makes my life easier,
Okay.
he even has a point of view to foresee things and to bring those things without being told.
Okay.
Unfortunately, Karan, this generation, yesterday you told me Gen Z or something, whatever, and that's a part of it.
Yeah.
They are not, I won't say they are irresponsible, but it shouldn't happen.
They are very sharp, sir. They are very sharp. But only they need guidance, proper direction.
That's right. But they should not. You should not have a situation where you have to tell them what you should do.
Correct.
That responsibility has to come in the children.
From within.
I don't want to be philosophical. I don't want to be giving some sort of whatever you call it. But you know why this thing is seen? Children are doing whatever they want because the parents have thought that we will do whatever we want.
Okay.
There is an issue there in the parents. You can't blame the children alone.
Yes, true.
Children are let alone to be doing whatever they want because parents wanted to do what they want.
Yes.
That's not what it is.
Yes.
If you are a good parent, you will first put restrictions on yourself.
Correct.
Once you put restrictions on yourself, automatically the child will follow that. Now this
True.
goes to a different tangent, I don't want to divert,
Yeah.
but all these things make an individual what he is.
So there's a special message even for the parents.
Absolutely.
Okay.
If you are into your mobiles,
Yeah.
your children are ought to be into that.
Correct.
If you are saying that I don't want limits on myself, I don't want restrictions, you have no right to put it on children.
Absolutely, absolutely.
You can't have a situation where you do whatever you want, but your child will do what you want. No. And for that, an extremely strong family value system is needed.
Family value system is required. Very nice.
Yes.
Fantastic, sir. I really appreciate your answers. And sir, this is one very personal question which I had in my mind, which I would want to place before you. That do you think that if you are reaching at a CFO position or maybe any higher position in a company, so do you need a sharp mindset? Only sharp-minded people can reach up to this position, or sometimes even an emotional person or an emotional mindset person can also achieve such high positions in big organizations like this? Can you just throw some light on it?
Look, the answer lies in your previous question and in my previous answers, but I'll be more specific.
Okay.
Your sharp mindset is something what your profession at that point of time will always expect. But to sustain it, it's eventually a people-driven profession. You're dealing with humans.
Okay.
When you're dealing with humans, you have to give importance to emotions.
Okay.
You have to give importance to people's feelings.
Correct.
You cannot hurt them. You cannot.
Yes, sir.
And this is what I have been trained by.
And this is what many people have to learn also.
Absolutely. You cannot hurt people.
Yes.
Because remember, when you are working in a working environment, you spend 8 to 9 or 10 hours of your active day.
Yes.
I mean, you sleep for 8 hours or you spend 2 hours in your personal shows, but after that, you have what? You have 14 hours. Out
Yes.
of that conscious 14 hours, you are spending 8 to 9 hours in a workplace.
Okay.
Now, your responsibility is that you make it not just comfortable, but you make that people around you, you have to make it where they get a sense of achievement.
Correct.
You set small goals. You appreciate them when you achieve those, when they achieve those goals.
So
then you have to increase that limit.
okay. So only money, only salary is not important.
People don't work only for salaries.
Yeah, motivation is important.
People work for being treated well. People work for their own achievement.
Yes.
And it's our responsibility to make them feel good.
Correct, sir. Very
Mind you, when you spend 8 to 10 hours, see there are 4 levels of working. I'll tell you what.
Yes.
The lowest level is you crib. Okay, what is this? I don't want to do at this. Okay, that's one level.
True.
Then you have a third level which says that I want to work because I want to earn money.
Okay.
Don't keep peripherals as your goals. Your goal can't be that I want this and I want that. That can't be your goal. Then you have a second level which says that, well, it's my duty, I have a responsibility.
Yes.
Most of us could be between second, third. I'm trying to go between second and 1.
Oh, wow.
The first level is where you actually start loving your work.
Yes.
Where you feel passionate about your work.
So once you start loving your work, once you feel it's a passion, then you'll be more dedicated, you'll be more inclined.
Then you don't tend to differentiate between that.
Yeah,
so
no crippling.
Previously, what you would feel is when you are on a so-called holiday, you would not like office. No, it's not. You don't switch off in that sense.
Yes, yes.
You make everybody feel a part of your life.
Yes.
And I tell you, as I said, that good personalities are made by good organizations.
Yes, sir. True.
When you work for organizations which make you feel good,
Yeah.
which is a part of your life, then you grow along with them.
Yes, sir.
And at that point of time, you realize that you actually love your job, you love your work.
Correct, sir.
That is extremely important. And I think this new generation which very proudly says that, look, I am not having any attachments. God give them luck.
Materialistic attachments.
God give them luck, fine. I mean, maybe they are right, but
Yes,
I
sir.
would think differently.
Yes, sir.
I would think more in a more sustained manner.
Yes, sir. True, sir. So basically, your moral of the whole story is you just have to like your job and you have
Like
to
your
feel,
work.
like your work, and you should feel it like a passion. You're doing it because of your passion, and good organizations make good people, as he rightly pointed out. I just love that statement. Sir, our CA and CS community and professional community, sir, especially the student community, can you give them some tips on how to study for professional exams? Because these students, they are learning, they are attending lectures and everything, but still they feel confused during the exam time, still they feel traumatic, frustrated, they don't understand what to do. So any advice, any specific advice you want to give them after so many years of experience, how to study?
I have to go back to my basics.
Okay.
Because the questions which you previously asked me are more relevant to my present
Sir. Yes, sir.
thing. But when you are talking about,
I purposely thought of asking you this question because it's going back to
I don't
2007.
mind. No, I don't mind going back because my roots are very strong.
Roots are very strong. Very good.
So, and that's very important.
Yes, sir.
So it may sound a little kiddish, but it would actually and genuinely help the student fraternity.
Yes, sir.
Now you divide your entire CA syllabus. While I talk about CAs because I'm a CA, I've gone through it. But I think this could help even people in the other
professional exams. True, sir.
You look at your CA syllabus in two fashions. One is a practical paper like accounts, finance, costing, income tax.
Yeah.
And you look at theoretical papers like audit, like
law.
Indirect tax, or you look at law. Actually, law is also quite practical if you study it properly.
Yeah.
Or you talk about IT, that is information technology, or you would have NICS.
Correct.
Now you have these two sets of practical and theoretical papers. What I used to do is I would actually imagine myself on the last day of the exam.
Okay.
Is it possible to cover everything in your accounts in one day? It's not.
Not. Practically not possible.
It's not possible. And mind you, this also helps you later on in your professional life. You have a bigger challenge. You don't allow that challenge to break you. You don't allow the problem to break you. You break the problem.
Yes, you break
so
the problem.
You have to break that challenge, and your entire accounts one paper or your FM paper or your costing paper, which is having usually 10 or 12 chapters.
Correct.
You break them.
Okay.
I had a master book.
Okay.
It would be a 100-page book, which would have 3 flaps. 30, 30, 30.
30, 30, 30. Okay.
Can you imagine covering all 3 subjects in one master book? Because then revising 30 pages before one paper was not difficult.
So you completely, you synchronize the whole syllabus.
Now, how was that done? It's very easy to say that I did it, but you have to go and help students to tell them how do you do it. Now, if you look at 30 pages, you would have 10 chapters in, say, accounts.
Okay.
You would have 10 chapters in FM. You would have 10 chapters in costing.
Yeah.
Now, every chapter, for example, let's talk about internal reconstruction in accounts, or you talk of process costing or standard costing or margin costing in costing. Every chapter would have at least 15 to 20 problems. Correct? You have your notebook, you have your textbook.
Okay.
You number each page of your notebook.
Okay.
You number each page of your textbook is already numbered.
Yeah.
You use your master book. You take one chapter on one page and you write internal reconstruction.
Okay.
You draw 5 columns.
Okay.
See, I'm sounding very kiddish, but I'll tell you this would help.
These are really helpful strategies.
You write serial number 1, question number 1, textbook page number, notebook page number, and then you leave a wider column, points to remember.
Oh.
Okay. Now
adjustments.
Now you put, say, if it's standard costing, or you say internal reconstruction. Question number 1, page number 1, page number 1 in your notebook to page number 5.
Okay.
Usually your first sum would be a basic sum where the concept is. After doing the whole chapter, your first sum is very easy. Now what you do is you take the second one.
Okay.
In your second one, you would have usually 6 to 7 adjustments in every problem. I'm going to the micro level.
Yes.
Your third or fourth adjustment would be the catch. Every problem has a catch.
Correct.
If you are able to get that, you crack it.
Correct, sir.
You don't talk about the basic sum in point number in your question number 2.
Correct, sir.
You only write in red pen what is the catch in that sum.
Okay.
This way you cover 10 sums.
10 sums.
And you will get 10 major points in that entire internal reconstruction.
Agreed.
That has to be written in a different ink.
Oh.
You write it in red.
Red color, okay.
So you know very well
okay.
what does that mean. And since you have your notebook page number reference, you have your textbook, on the given day you only go to that point.
Okay. So only that specific point has to be seen on the last day of the exam.
I'll tell you what happens, Karan.
Yeah.
This helps you even later on.
Later on. Yeah.
When you actually deal with people, there is a lot of crowd which talks a lot. People avoid being specific because sometimes that is not known.
Okay.
But if you train your mind to always focus on that specific point, you may end up speaking less.
Yes.
But you not just speak to the point, you are actually a problem solver and not a problem creator.
Yes, sir. True, sir.
So you cannot run away from that.
Yes, sir.
When you are studying a chapter and you are hitting only those points,
Correct.
you are developing your own personality to actually attack the problem rather than say, okay, I know this, but I don't know this.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, I mean, it happens many a times. Maybe in family, maybe in friends. Do you know this? Yes, I know it, but I don't know this. No, that's not an answer. But I don't know this means you are running away from the main problem. That's not going to help you. You have to very well face it.
Okay.
So use these so-called strategies. When you come to your theoretical sums, your subjects, you have, as you said, law. Now I think, if I remember, it is section 274 which talks about disqualification of a director as per Indian Companies Act. In that, what you would say, A, B, C, D, there was sub-clauses, 274, 1A, B, C, D, E, F, G.
Correct.
It talks of insolvency, then it talks of some insane thing. Use those words to be written in red.
Okay.
So in your own notes, you just have those points.
Okay.
So 274A talks of whatever it is, 274B.
Okay.
This is hard work, but it's an investment for you in the long run.
Investment. So
your thought process also then develops.
Correct.
And that's where you are different from others.
Yes.
This hard work which you will do in your CA course for 4 or 5 years, they are your foundations. They make your personality. You don't even realize that.
Okay, very good, sir.
I don't want to put down any other courses, but there are courses which happen in 2 years. You pay huge money, you think you can buy your degrees.
No.
But that is not going to give you this sort of a depth. Where does the CA thing lack is perhaps in your communication skills, in your presentation skills.
Yes, sir.
You have your entire life to improve on that. You read, you see,
yes,
you watch good movies.
Correct.
I think it would be very stupid to say this on record to the young students. But yes, you do see good movies because they are a part of good arts, they are a good part of good literature, they are a good part of good culture.
Correct.
You have to develop yourself as a personality.
So what sir means to say that your overall personality gets shaped, it gets developed when you start making your own synopsis point, and when you start making your own points rather than simply taking up some book and simply reading it just like a novel. So it should be personality development, and you don't even realize that, as he rightly pointed out, that once you're doing CA course, you don't even realize that there are many expensive degrees that you are simply buying, but then it's not shaping your personality. Whereas our CA courses and even CS, all these courses are in-depth courses, and they really shape your personality. So if you make your own notes, you exactly know what to remember on the last day of the exam. So being at such a high position and still taking us all through his journey and taking in a very short span of time, because it's very difficult to summarize everything in a short span of 20-30 minutes,
It makes me feel nostalgic, to be very honest.
Yeah, it makes feel me as well, sir, because even I remember my days when I used to make shortcut notes and for remembering, and I train my students also that way.
And you should never lose a student in what you are. You should always be a student.
Yes.
Because if the process of learning stops, then growth stops. If you start thinking that, well, I know everything, you're finished.
So,
very important to be humble.
Very important to be
humble. The more you learn, the more humble you become.
Yes, sir. True, sir.
And always remain a student.
Always.
Never ever feel that being a student is being less. No. You be a student, you learn, you'll get teachers right from a lower level to a higher level. You learn from anybody.
Correct.
You learn from everybody.
Correct.
You learn different things from different people. So you have to be very receptive towards these things.
Yes, sir. Fantastic, sir. So your answers are so simple and so genuine answers, and yet they are so much inspiring for us. And it is such a pleasure to have you on this show, and I'm really proud to have you, and I definitely feel that our students will gain a lot of extract from this video, and they will really appreciate your efforts, and you spend a lot of time with us almost a 30-40 minutes interview this is, and it's really helpful for students because it can change the life of so many
Oh
students.
yes,
okay?
even if you can change one person's
One
life.
person's life, the objective is very simple. Even if one life changes, we have achieved something.
I said this to you, Karan. It's a
Yes.
wonderful initiative that you have taken.
Thank you.
And may you get all the strength, all
Thank
the
you, sir.
support.
Thank you, sir.
And it's a privilege. It's a proud feeling that I'm giving back something to the community.
Yeah.
To my institute, which has given me so much.
Yes, sir.
It's a very humbling thing. Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you to have me here.
Thank you,
It's
sir.
a pleasure. Thank you.
you so
All
much.
the best.
Thank you
All
so
the
much.
best.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.